I was telling a story about my dad, and I put two stories together and made him sound like it was really funny, but I made him sound like an idiot. And he was pissed.
You gotta let go
He
of
was
that.
so mad.
He wants the best for you. If he's your father, he wants the best for you. Listen,
Well, where did he go wrong, he said.
I fucking, my dad has been, I told a story on a podcast that means absolutely fucking nothing. I don't remember what it was. I get a phone call from my dad, and he goes, "Hey, buddy, we got to start telling the truth when we talk."
Hey, at least he's listening.
And I said, "No, it was his partner's son that listened."
Motherfucker.
And I go, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "I never had a van."
All right.
And I go, "What?" And he goes, "You said I had a van. I've never had a van in my fucking life. You make me look like a guy that would buy a van. I never bought a fucking van in my life." And I go, "You definitely had a van." And he goes, No. You have an active imagination." And which is true. I do. Like, I remember things that maybe kind of happened, but I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know how you guys tell stories. Do you have like a fucking ledger where you're like, hold on this day, you're right. I was 5 minutes late. I tell the fucking story. I showed up on time. I don't give a fuck. And I go, "You had a van. You had a fucking van. When I was in first grade, you had a fucking van." And he goes, "I never had a goddamn van. I never had a goddamn van. And you're making me look like a guy in the 80s that would have bought a goddamn van." Which I guess
Which
for
is also
him,
a bad look.
yeah, right? And I go, "Dad, it had captain seats in it. We picked up Aunt Judy at the airport in it. You drove me to school the first week." He goes, "I never had a goddamn van." So I call my sister. I'll call my sister right now.
Please.
I'll call my fucking sister right now. And this is what drives me fucking nuts. Is your dad wants to remember that he was a fucking gangster, right?
Yeah.
And my dad's the same fucking way. And he bullshit where he goes, "I never had a fucking van." He had a, watch this, I swear to God.
Hello?
Hey, did Dad have a van when we were kids?
Yeah, we're having this conversation again. Yes, it was like burgundy, right?
Yeah, and it had captain seats, and we picked up Judy in the airport.
Yes, and it smelled like Finesse shampoo.
I love you so much. I'll talk to you
All
later.
right.
Okay, all right, love you, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh, I'm so glad she said that. That is so awesome.
So our parents don't remember sometimes, like, it's tough to remember who you were, and it's tough to hear who you were. And especially when you mash it up a little bit, they go, "Well, hold on. I got to represent myself as the guy who killed it."
Yeah.
And we had a fucking van.
You totally had a van. I mean, who's going to forget that you showed up on the first week of school in a van?
Grace, I sat in my dad's lap, and I got to use the blinker in the van.
That's a very huge moment in a young boy's
Big
life.
fuck you. You want to do the blinker? I was like, yeah. By the way, it's highly. My dad now will go, you sat in a car seat. Didn't have car seats back then.
They didn't have them
I was in
back then.
first grade. I sat in his fucking lap, and I can do the blinker.
It's like, you don't forget those things.
You don't forget the music you listen to, Stevie Wonder. I remember driving home from baseball practice, listening to Styx. You don't remember those fucking years are so goddamn amazing. It's crazy. You know, Grace, I said to myself the other day, it was my birthday. I turned 52, and I said,
Happy belated.
I don't think so.
What's up?
What did you say?
I said happy belated, but I think I
I
wish
thought
you
you
a
said,
happy
"Are we
birthday."
related?" And I was like,
Oh, yeah, that too.
I don't think you can be related through birthdays.
Are we related by chance? Speaking of 52.
No, I turned 52, and I sat in bed, and I went, "How many birthdays do I remember?" I can only come up with like 11.
Yeah, I saw you say that.
And I was like, "Fuck, that sucks."
And is that, I can't remember the rest. Were they the earlier birthdays
It
or?
was always earlier. Well,
Yeah.
no. So I remember 11. I
Mhm.
remember 10 because we moved in that house. I remember 21. I'm kind of quick. I remember 26. 26 was really important, and because of 26, I remember 27.
Mhm.
I remember 30 was a pivotal one to me. I remember 40. I remember 42. I got an owl for my birthday.
Huh?
Yeah, my
All
wife
right.
got me an owl.
Is that what people do when they make it? They get owls?
No, I hadn't made it. I was only 42, but it was a gift. I only got it for the day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it flew around my my man cave. It was pretty awesome. It's having an owl in your man cave, and they were rolling cigars, and it was a really fun
That's
day.
really cool.
So I remember. So now I remember 50. I remember 50. Like I remember the later ones a little better.
Yeah.
But what I started realizing was like, you got to tent pole your life. Like,
Mhm.
you got to really like why not spend a birthday? Why not have memories? Like the way we talk about, you know, our parents and their memories. Why not fucking make things huge? You think of the first, you know, your first grade year was like such a big year.
Yeah.
Why not make every year that way? Why not do crazy shit? So when you go, what happened on my 53rd birthday? And you're like, oh, we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
Like, I'll never forget it.
I'll never forget that birthday.